Welcome, listeners. This year on Just Neapolitan, we talked about video games. Joined by Floyd, and I'm your resident talk real good because I'm smart and stuff. Bryan.
That's how that works.
That is very much how that works. So, let's get this out of the way. Happy holiday to anyone that celebrates any holidays.
Oh, yeah.
And anyone who's like me doesn't give a fuck. Happy Monday. And anyone who works in the restaurant industry, I am so sorry.
That your restaurant is open today. They could at least give you
one.
Like, goddamn.
I never had holidays off.
Yeah, that's terrible. I'm sorry to hear
that. I mean, and you know, those billionaires, they need to afford their second yacht.
That's true.
And then they need a mega yacht
to park their regular yachts in. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But then they need a slightly smaller yacht because they can't pull into port with their yachts. Yeah. Okay. Before I make myself more depressed, let's roll the D20. Hey, I got a 20.
What is a 20?
It's just whatever I wrote for 20.
Oh.
I mean, maybe at some point I'll come up with something better. I don't know what would we do for 20? What would be the critical
success? I don't know.
Yeah, that's.
What do you?
Even the crit failure. You know, this whole table is supposed to end up being 100 at some point.
Oh yeah, never mind then. But anyway, what do you have for 20?
So this one was recommended by Shadow Producer Candle. A game you always recommend, but nobody actually tries it. And first things first, I'm going to go ahead and answer this for Candle, and it's the Soma series.
Yeah.
Or just Soma. I don't know if it's a series or not, but he's constantly recommending it. He's always angry we don't play it.
Yeah.
And I'm constantly just trying to tell him, bro, I'm probably not going to play it.
Yeah, he recommends it, and then I'm like, that sounds interesting. And by the time I get home or in the mood to play a game, it's gone from my hemisphere. It's just poof. It's not
it's just not my usual type of game. So I very, very much need to be in the mood to play it. And also, it's got a horror element, and I'm not generally into horror games.
Yeah.
I know he said it's a lot more psychological than just horror, but I'm like, yeah, but
that kind of makes it
a video game. Yeah, exactly. You know, I'm all for existential crises, but I do those well enough on my own, thank you. And then my game, this one's easy. It's going to be Vampire fucking Survivors.
Yeah. I'll never play that. I'm so sorry.
That's fine. That's why I didn't buy it for you. I bought it for Eddie. I still don't know if he played it. Because I was just like, you're never going to buy this, Eddie, but if I buy it for you, you'll have to play it because he's got a condition.
Yeah. I don't actually think I have one. Because I'm basic as hell, and I usually just play mainstream games.
I was going to say, I don't really know you as someone to recommend a ton of games, to be honest.
No.
No, you know what? Alan Wake 2. That's one of those few games you've kind of been on my ass about saying that I should play it.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's been out long enough.
Right. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I think it's a really good game, and I think you really enjoy it. But also, it's only been out like 3-4 months now. Like,
yeah,
I would have said,
and it's on my list.
I would have said the Dark Souls series, but you're on that now, so I guess I win.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, no, Elden Ring won when it came down for that one.
Yeah.
I saw Elden Ring and I was like, okay, I'm going to play this game. So now I'm going to play Dark Souls 3. Yeah, no, yeah, and like the Alan Wake thing, it's on my list. It's just I have the backlog right now.
Right, yeah.
And trying to get to some other stuff. I want goddamn Armored Core. But I have to at least finish what I'm trying to do with the Dark Souls. I at least need to finish all the DLC for the Dark Souls
Right.
3. Because I'm not going to play 2 like action RPG-ish games at the same time.
Nah, I feel that.
But then I also bought Spider-Man, and I'm like, oh, I should probably play Spider-Man. Because that's older. Not the new Spider-Man, mind you. Because I don't have a PlayStation.
That's what happens when we start getting this
But
backlog.
And like, still gotta finish Baldur's Gate, which keeps fucking up on me. But that's a completely different one. That's a different mood I'm in when I play that. So I don't count that. That I have a backlog of like 8 other RPGs that are stuck behind that one.
Yeah.
Which are older than Baldur's Gate, but I don't fucking care because Baldur's Gate is awesome. Like, you will all bow.
God, I can't wait to finish Baldur's Gate.
I can't wait for it to stop fucking up on me.
What's going on with that?
Well, so the first time I had a crash.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it was a bad enough crash that Steam had to basically reinstall the entire game. And it forced me to send a crash report to Larian. Like, it was just like, we're sending a crash report. It didn't ask. It was just like, we are sending this report. Is there any extra information you would like to add with the report? And I was like, nope, that's fine.
It's like, no, y'all got
Apparently, it was a bad enough crash that you're like, yes, we are taking this, please. Which I would have sent anyway because, yeah. But that was fine. That was definitely just some random thing happened. Because I went and loaded the game up the next time and everything was fine. And I got past that part. But then there was a boss that I'm fighting. And I'm trying not to give a lot away because the game is still not old enough that I'm like, I'm not giving it away because there's still a lot of people that haven't played it that are going to.
Right.
But so there's a boss I'm fighting, and the boss can cast Frighten on the party. And when you're frightened, you have disadvantage to attack rolls, and you can't move. Well, my Lizelle, like did whatever roll she had to do to not get frightened. The rest of the party got frightened, so they couldn't move. But that's fine because that's Will, my archer, who, which is great. He's an assassin. So since Lizelle could move, once she was within melee range of the guy, Will can use his assassinate, which would give him an advantage, but since he has disadvantage, they just cancel each other out. So he was still hitting with normal attack rolls.
Right.
So he was fine. And then I have my sorcerer, my main. Okay, attack rolls don't matter when I can just cast magic missile. So that's all I did. It's just, I was like, okay, cool. Eat this level 4 magic missile then.
Yeah, hope this.
And then I had what's her name? Shadowheart. I respect her, so she's a storm cleric.
Right.
So storm clerics, if you use certain skills, you can just use this thing. Like I think you get like 3 uses every long rest or short rest or something. That guarantees you do max damage.
Oh, yeah.
So I just used that because it guarantees I do max damage. And we just beat the fuck out of this guy in 1 round. And the fear lasts 2 rounds. Or 2 turns. So, yada yada, blah, blah, that's done. Combat was over. Everyone was still feared. So they couldn't move. And it was just stuck on having 1 turn left. And I basically tried everything I could try with it. Like, I had Lizelle move to a new area. Everyone else is still feared. I did, like, quick save, quick load. I did a full save, full load. I tried to go back into turn-based mode.
Right.
And cycle through a couple times just to see if maybe because I came out of combat. Nope, it just straight up just fucked up, and I'm permanently feared now. So I have to go back to my save before fighting the boss.
But what if you just killed him?
Yeah, unfortunately, I already shut the game off. Didn't think of that one.
Ah. I would have got frustrated. It's like, all right, y'all finna die. It's gonna go away one way. Don't worry, I'll bring you back.
Yeah, I was just that was the first time playing again after the huge crash,
Mm,
and then that happened, and I'm just like, okay, I'm turning you off.
I feel that. Going back real quick to the game, I would recommend no one
Okay,
plays. Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator. It's a great game.
I I have played that.
Have you? Ah, I
Yes,
love that game.
because you recommended it, and it was on Game Pass, so I said, fuck it, why not? And it was funny is that you recommended it, and I had already had it downloaded.
Mm.
I just hadn't played it yet. Because that was my thing with Game Pass. I'd just go through and be like, download this, download this, download this, download this, and they just sit there, and I'd get around to them eventually. Which is why I canceled the Game Pass, because I was like, no, I do this enough already. And then I'm adding these games on top of games I'm paying money for, on top of Humble Bundle stuff. It became a whole thing.
I feel that.
I was like, I can't keep doing this to myself. Like, there is such thing as too many games, strangely enough.
Yeah, honestly,
But
I don't really play that many Game Pass games anymore.
yeah, that's why I just was like, what sucks is I really miss Forza Motorsport.
Mm, mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, so I bought a Cento Corsa,
Me too.
which has all these comments that are like, new Forza Motorsport sucks. This game is so much better, and it's just, no, that game sucks.
Okay.
The car physics on it are such bullshit. It feels like Need for Speed arcadey bullshit. Like, turn and the car like whips around, and I'm like, oh, that's why you didn't like Forza Motorsport, because Forza Motorsport actually has car physics.
I would say,
and they act like real cars, and you got to slow the fuck down to take a turn. You can't just yank the steering wheel and somehow stay on track going 100. Oh my god, I hated it so much.
my thing with
terrible.
that game is I'm pretty sure it's built for the racing wheel. And so, like, because I played it with the wheel, and I was like, yeah, I like this game. And then one day I was like, I want to race something, but I didn't feel like pulling the whole setup out. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna play it with my controller, and I was like, this fucking sucks. And so,
oh yeah,
I won't play it without the wheel, and which means I don't play it that often because I hate, like, my room. You know my room. It's super small, so to get that setup going, it's just a lot of work. So I don't really do it that often.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and see, I don't have the wheels,
mm-hmm.
so like I was using a controller, and I'm like, the fuck is everyone talking about how good this is?
Yeah, every last one of those people play with the wheel setup.
Yeah. Sweaty ass tryhards.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, look, just because the one guy did it because he played Gran Turismo and he became a real race car driver, you ain't gonna.
Oh, they be taking it so serious too, Bryan. Oh my god.
I mean, so here's like a lot of those simulators, right? Okay, the really, really good ones. That shit's getting driven by actual professional race car drivers, and they're usually the ones that are like some of the top scorers. Like, you're not. So I guess you competed against a pro or something. I don't fucking even know, man.
Yeah.
It's just, I swear, a couple people get famous for that shit, and everybody fucking thinks they can do it.
It's usually how it works.
That doesn't count for us. We do this because it's fun.
Yeah. Oh.
I just want to make sure that's known.
Yeah, no.
That we're not expecting that from the. I said it. I sat there. I thought for a second, and I was like,
"That, huh? Yeah, that could be applied to us." And I say, "Wait, hold on."
yeah, that's not why we're doing this.
We're doing it for the love of the game. Okay.
Yeah, for real. Said from day one, we'd keep doing it as long as it was fun. Once it stopped being fun, we were done. so far it's continued to be fun. And I've learned a lot of stuff about audio editing, which is a lot of fun, and I didn't realize I was going to enjoy that, so I'm happy with that. I've started recording gameplay again because I'm like, well, the YouTube channel is getting used, so why don't we do some of the stuff we originally wanted to do on the YouTube channel?
Oh, yeah. I got like 2 Alan Wake episodes to upload. I just never got to it.
Yep. Yeah. Did you like that I made you your little VOD corner?
Yeah, I saw that when I went on to add the Alan Wakes, and I was like, when did this get here?
Well, so when I started uploading the podcast, I was like, well, why don't I just make playlists and you know, make little like video sections.
That's smart.
I put the podcast all in one, and then was like, oh, there's also a podcast section. So whatever, learning's fun. But yeah, then I just figured, I was like, well, whatever, I'll just make this since I'm on here, and then I'll just organize everything right away.
Yeah.
And then I jump on there like every month and just like 4 episodes at a time, like shove the podcast over into the podcast folder.
Nice.
But yeah, I started my New Year's resolution early because I've always been of the belief I don't do New Year's resolutions. I'm like, if you have to wait to a specific day to come up with a new habit, you're not going to keep that habit.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to do something, start doing it right then and there. And so I've been starting to literally just like throw up OBS and just hit record every time I play a game now.
Nice.
Yeah. I haven't been doing any mic work because I'm just playing the game and having fun. Then I'm like, whatever. I'm like, I'll have the footage. If I feel like talking over it, I can.
Yeah, like do a voiceover.
I'm like, or I can just throw raw footage up and be all like, hey, do you want to watch the game without some annoying jackass talking at you? Here you go.
Some people like those annoying jackasses.
Tell that to my Twitch followers. Oh, wait. That would be tell yourself that. Anyway, Twitch is...
I like Twitch. I don't have a problem with it yet. Except that one time they said booze were legal and then took it back.
Yeah. 24 hours of boobies. Or no, 48 hours.
Yeah, it was 40. And I was like, I remember seeing that headline. It's like, this
It was one day
stupid.
for each boob. Boom.
Smart. Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was a terrible decision. And as a person who loves boobs, I thought that was a terrible decision.
Boobs are fantastic.
Right? I just don't want boobs.
I've liked them ever since I was a baby.
Correct. Yes.
Nice long pause on that one.
I don't know why it took me so long to correlate that with just eating. Like,
yeah. You know what they're for. Literally what they were designed for.
Yeah.
Wait, not design. You know what? So I played a really interesting game this week.
What have you been playing?
So I played Dreamscaper.
I have no idea what that is.
Or Dreamscapes. God damn it. Did I write it down correctly? Hold on. Let me make sure I wrote it down correctly.
Okay.
Yes, it is Dreamscaper.
Got
okay.
it.
Yeah. So it's from 2021, and it's an indie roguelite. And it definitely went under my radar because that was like during the few years where I was sick of roguelites and I just stopped playing them for years. Which is also how I missed out on Hades.
Yes.
But I will say, like, I think one of the nice things about taking a step back from that, because roguelites are like one of my favorite genres of games. A lot of times you can like just throw it at me and I'll play it. But what I did is I realized after taking that time off, I started becoming more picky about them. And I was like, it needs to be unique. Something unique has to be going on, you know, or it just like mechanically has to be one of the best games ever. But I've been a lot more happy now with my roguelite choices. But yeah, this one is I'd almost call it perhaps a cozy roguelite.
Hmm.
So it's centered around your main character is Cassidy, and she just like moved to a new town, and it's split into two sections. And there's the waking world, and then your dreamscape world. And the dreamscape is your roguelite area, So you got the, very much like, Binding of Isaac kind of deal, where you have the different exits, and you can walk back through the ones you did, and you drop bombs, and there's a secret door in every like floor.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a boss, and you got to be the boss, and then you go down to the next floor, and and it's permadeath, so obviously you die, but you also doing things in there, you'll collect, different things that you can use to like unlock things when you're in the real world. So, and the game like just oozes its theme. Like it's this theme is all over everything. Like weapons you'll get in the Dreamscape be like a baseball bat, and the little blurb on it is something about like a little league, right?
Right.
And like a ranged weapon you can get is a snowball. You're just throwing a snowball. And then there's like a primal scream, and the little blurb is like let it all out, and that can be one of your lucid powers, which is like a stronger power, but it has a cooldown kind of deal. And yeah, so like themes everywhere. I'd say one of the drawbacks is there's too many weapons and shields and dodge abilities and lucid abilities, and so they all kind of act a little differently. So it's hard to kind of like get used to your build. Like one of the things that Hades did is like you pick the weapon, that's the weapon you have for the whole run, and you can change bits about the weapon depending on like what upgrades or powers you get, but it will always be that weapon.
Right.
Especially your melee attacks, they have different windows for doing a perfect attack during the combo, which then does critical damage. So obviously you want to do that. They have different ranges, so it's just kind of, and even like the range weapons, like some you got to hold and wait until you do the blink, because range weapons in roguelite games, that's the thing now, is that there's always a section where you do extra damage if you hit it right on the blinky part. Some of them are just a beam, and they're just like, so yeah, it's kind of hard to get that. I'd say that's kind of the one big drawback. But I do like, so to improve your character, you meditate in the park for your self-improvement. So like upgrade your health or your combo damage, like different things like that. You pick up inspirations, and Cassidy is an artist. So you go and you sketch, and those sketches now become new items or new abilities that you have a chance to find the next time you go do a run. There's oh man, what's the other one? I think it's called Glass. But basically it's you daydream. And when you daydream, you unlock new rooms that can then randomly show up in the dreamscape. And then, Cassidy, you're in a new place. That's kind of like the theme of the game. It very much seems like it's the first time moving out, getting a job, moving to the big city, yada yada kind of deal.
Got it.
And dealing with like the emotions of that, and being alone, and in this new place, and fish out of water kind of deal. And so you make acquaintances through the game, and as you get to know them, they're like a passive buff. You can pick one of them. I think there's like 8 in the game that you use on your run. So like, say one gives you like extra armor, one gives you extra range damage, one might give you extra lightning damage. And yeah, so then you level them up, and you make handcrafted items to gift them to get it up. I really like the music, and just the art design in general. Do a lot of heavy lifting for the story, honestly. And one of the reasons for that is it's all text. There's no voice lines. But also the characters are artist mannequins. You know those wooden like mannequins that you can pose?
Yeah.
So that artists can like, see whatever different pose. Those are the characters. They have like, they'll have hair, or there's even somebody with glasses, but there's no face. And I am consistently just amazed by how well they're able to get emotions and to get like, to get actual like emoting,
right?
Out of these dolls. When we've seen AAA publishers, diving headfirst into the uncanny valley, can't get any fucking emotion to work when they have faces and fully voiced lines. So I think that alone was super impressive to me. And also, I had to. Oh yeah, I forgot. So the bosses. So this, I think will sum up some of the story. So the first boss for the first floor is called Fear. The second boss is called Isolation. So that gives some of the story away.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I said, the story is pretty good. Okay, here we go. So there's this fantastic fucking exchange. This is just one of my favorite little ones. So one of the NPCs, Bruce, asks Cassidy, which is your MC, can I ask you to be candid with me? To which Cassidy replies, I don't know you well enough to think about lying to you. And I'm like,
yeah.
Holy fuck, that's such a great little back and forth. Oh yeah, there's a tutorial that doesn't suck.
Oh, we know how you hate tutorials.
I was gonna say that's high praise from me. That's about as high as that praise gets. It doesn't suck. So I think if I'm gonna sum it up, this is not my favorite cozy game. It's not my favorite roguelite. It's an artsy type of game, which I generally fucking hate. Not so much on the merit of the art, but because I'm supposed to give it a pass on the gameplay if it's an artsy game. I feel a lot of times people want you to do that, and I'm like, well, no, then paint a picture, and then I'll only judge it as art. But I don't feel this one hides behind it. I feel like it's enriched by having that artistry. Literally, the MC is an artist, and it's throughout the theme of the entire game.
Right.
But yeah, so definitely not my favorite cozy game. Definitely not my favorite roguelite. Definitely my favorite cozy roguelite.
But how many of those are there?
Shut up. I wrote a good line, and you can just let me have it.
My bad, big dog. You right.
Yeah, so no, I definitely wanted to shout that one out because I just thought it was a fantastic job done. And, unique. Yeah. Definitely unique. And it's 2 years old, so I'm sure you can find it on the cheap. I got it from a Humble Bundle.
Yeah, it's currently on sale at Steam for $6.49.
There you go.
Yeah. When you said Dreamscaper, I was like, I heard of that before, but I've actually never played it. So I was like, let me go look at this, make sure I know what I'm talking about before I actually say something.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun game. I played it, 2 days. I put right about 7 hours into it.
Nice.
But yeah, so it's been fun. And nice thing about roguelites is you can just let them sit for a while and then come back to them when it's time for roguelite time. You don't lose. Oh yeah, and it has a mode you can toggle called Lucid Mode, where every time you die, you just get a stat bonus.
Oh, like lucid dreaming.
Yeah, and it's just permanent for the game until you beat the game.
Nice.
Yeah, because I love it when developers aren't gatekeepy about their own fucking game and would like anyone who wants to finish it to have the ability to fucking finish it. Why would you gatekeep your own goddamn game? God, that's so 90s.
Yeah, but I realized why they did that back in the 90s. They made it harder to extend gameplay time. You don't have to do that nowadays.
Exactly. It's one of those old dumb things that we just do because we have done.
Right, yeah.
Like there's no good reason for it. Well, that and, a bunch of the people who their personality is I play hard video games, then they wouldn't have a personality anymore if we made sure that every game had difficulty settings.
Right. It's like, what's stopping you
Just-
from playing on the hard difficulty?
Yeah, just play the fucking hard. What the fuck? I love like Doom back in the day that had like 7 different difficulty settings.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh, is this one not hard enough? You can tweak it up slightly. So yeah, fuck that shit. We had that fucking back in the day.
They did.
The whole world's moving backwards.
Yeah.
You want some news?
Always.
Okay. Happy holidays! You're fired!
Damn.
Yeah, Tiny Build closes indie publisher Versus Evil and fires all staff.
What did they make?
Well, Versus Evil was a publisher.
Uh-huh.
So they published.
Oh.
But one of the things they published was Evil. You remember the one that's like Village, like Eville?
Oh, that one we played for like 30 minutes and never played again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Maggie keeps trying to get us to play, but no one else really is that interested. But they were also supposed to publish this this like Fallout inspired post-apocalyptic game set in Australia. Broken Road. Fuck, I can't think of the name of it. But it's okay, because apparently the games that they had in development are still... Well, they didn't have them in development. The games they were going to publish are still going to get published.
Okay.
You know. But yeah, so Tiny Build bought Versus Evil 2 years ago. And I would say at least they didn't give the usual cringy bullshit of leaner and more agile.
Mm-hmm. What was
I doubt that makes the people who got fired any better.
Right. What was their reason? Fuck y'all, we don't like you.
There just really wasn't one. I think it was just like 3 out of 4 of the games they were supposed to publish this year got delayed. And I mean, it's a Tiny Build. Yeah, also, name, not like the biggest studio. But they have been around for a while. Versus Evil had a staff of 13 people. So I do kind of feel like Tiny Build was making it leaner and more agile, but just didn't say it.
Right.
Which is better. But yeah. I mean, that doesn't... Bad time of year to get fired. Like,
right.
That's just... You couldn't have waited till the new year, huh?
Yeah, I mean...
Had to make sure it came out on this fiscal quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I have some super, super sad news. That it'll be happy news in like 2 months.
Which is?
Hey, another one of those games that I recommend people should play and nobody does. Balatro or Balatro. Balatro.
Right.
Whatever. I don't know how to pronounce things. Which is the roguelite that is based around making poker hands. And is 1,000,000 times better than it sounds with that blurb. And it has a free demo right now. It's because it's not even out yet. It's not in early access. None of that. It's a demo. Instead of early access, here's a demo for free. Why aren't you playing it? Go fucking download it. Because January 1st, the demo's gone.
Damn.
So you got 1 week left to try it.
So they were hands down on this is a demo.
Yeah. Which is super sad news because it is such much game. But happy news! A new Balatro demo will be coming out in the Steam Next Fest in February. Yay! So yeah, this one's going away because it's a demo for this super like small indie game that's had over 100,000 downloads.
Right.
Which I think is way more than the studio or whoever was making this thought. So yeah, we're getting a new updated demo before the game's coming out. And yeah, also still not like early access, give me money before it's done. It's still very much, thanks for the feedback. We're taking some of that feedback into consideration. And we've got a new demo coming out. And I'm assuming probably going to do some of the, probably be some new cards and some new decks to play and new jokers. And
Mm.
But it'd be sad. That's one of those games that, like, if I don't know what to play, I'm like, oh, let's play a couple hands of this. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna be able to do it. Ugh. All right. So, you got anything else, or?
No, this week has been a really dead week for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's I got some wraps on this, the last episode of season 1.
As in, you gonna spit some bars?
No.
Oh.
As in, just got some stuff to do.
Okay.
So, our next episode is going to come out on New Year's Day.
New Year's Day, guys.
New Year's Day. So, we'll help you through the hangover.
Or depending on how angry you get, you turn us off because your hangover is pounding and we're yelling in your ear.
Yeah, it could. I mean, it could go either way. It does. You can follow us on Blue Sky and Instagram. And I swear I'm going to get better at posting on both of those to make it worth following us on Blue Sky and Instagram. Also, if you can't follow us on Blue Sky because for some reason it's still
invite only.
Invite only. Sorry, I'm not going on Twitter. Not going to happen. So do Instagram. Lesser of two evils. Follow us on YouTube. We did talk about this. Floyd has uploaded some of his VODs. This is literally in my notes, but it came naturally in.
Mm-hmm.
And also I talked about this. I've been working on getting some games recorded. Wow, I'm so glad I wrote notes for this and don't have to do it. And we also talked about this. Jesus Christ. So anyway, whatever. I'm just going to read it. I wrote the fucking thing. So I'm working on getting some games recorded, right? And eventually they're going to go up. Since we're a small operation and we do this out of enjoyment because we make no monies on it, be patient with us. You can't make this shit up, man. Like, I wrote it and I'm like, oh yeah, this will be at the end and just make sure I just want to, clean up. So my big surprise that I've been holding on to, and I'm going to say it on this podcast because I'm a lazy fuck and I haven't worked on it at all. And so this gives me 1 week to get it done. I am making a new intro and outro for the podcast.
Nice.
The ones we currently have, I literally, the day we were putting the first podcast up, I went, oh shit, we don't have an intro or an outro. We should have something. It shouldn't just start. Podcasts have like little intro things usually. And I just fucking downloaded a bunch of sounds and just threw that shit together in like 30 minutes. And honestly, I like them. I think they turned out fairly well for what I put into them. But I have an idea, and I think I'm going to make it like actually be kind of like a song, like jingle kind of thing.
Right.
So I'm planning on like making like about a minute long of a song. And I'll just cut it down the middle. The first 30 seconds should be our intro, and the last 30 seconds should be our outro. Yeah. And then hopefully, if I make it correctly, and I've done this plenty of times on the program I do this on, I can make it loop so that if you're ever insane and just like listen to us back to back, the song should loop perfectly so that the one episode ends and it goes straight back into the song, but shouldn't miss a beat. That's the idea going on up here.
I like that.
Yeah. I know there's going to be more of us next week because less life is happening.
Yeah.
So, be fun. Oh, and we may not retire this, but we haven't retired it yet. Borderlands 3 sucks. We might have, you know what? Maybe that's the thing. We'll come up with a new one for season 2.
Yeah.
So
awesome. We got plenty of things to gripe about. Okay.
Yeah, totally. I mean, season 2 might be reminding everyone that it's midfield. I might be petty about that shit because they tried being fucking petty. You know what? We love y'all.
Yeah.
Follow us wherever you get your podcasts. leave us a 5-star review. I don't ask for it much, but apparently that shit's important.
Mm-hmm. Come watch us on YouTube. Well, not watch, but listen to us on. Well, you can watch me, but listen to us on YouTube. Watch my incomplete Resident Evil 8 playthrough, and start my incomplete Alan Wake 2 playthrough.
Yeah. Wow, man, you totally sold our YouTube channel. Good job.
It's really entertaining.
Uh-huh. And our Instagram's fun too. All 4 posts. All right. We love y'all. Happy New Year.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.